Ukraine claims to have downed several missiles in Russia's largest airstrike on Kyiv since the start of the war.
The Cannes Film Festival is back to celebrate this year's best in international cinema, cementing the return of embattled actor Johnny Depp.
Leaders from across Europe are focused on holding Russia to account during a two-day gathering in Reykjavik.
I hope it's refreshing.
The 46-nation Council of Europe, which is a foremost human rights organisation, has opened its first summit in 18 years. And member state Ukraine is top of the agenda.
To improve we are Europeans, so we are free. We are Europeans, so we value peace. We are Europeans, so we act at 100% of our strength when it comes to protecting our way of life. Let these be forever the rules of our continent.
While almost all European nations have provided military support or taken in refugees from Ukraine, the Council of Europe is uniquely placed to coordinate legal and judicial backing.
A big topic will be the accountability of Russia for the crime of aggression it is constantly committing by waging war in Ukraine. Here I'm very glad that we will have the register of damages, which is so important for justice, and justice is one of the preconditions for a just peace.
By Wednesday's conclusion, leaders aim to have the outlines of a compensation system in place to allow for the battered nation to start the economic healing process.
Ukraine says it has repelled the largest Russian missile attack on Kyiv since the start of the war. The armed forces of Ukraine report the downing of 6 supersonic missiles, 9 cruise missiles and numerous drones. Several people were injured after debris fell on the city, including the zoo. Russian authorities have stated that it is impossible to shoot down supersonic missiles and called earlier reports of such a missile being intercepted fake. Washington noted that they could confirm the success of Ukrainian air defense. Kyiv was the target of massive shelling after the Ukrainian armed forces announced the first successful counterattack in Bakhmut. The Ukrainian authorities stressed the attack was not the start of the highly anticipated counteroffensive, which has been talked about now for several months.
It's been less than 6 months since it was launched, but it's taken the world by storm. ChatGPT can do your homework, write a poem, or even solve a computer code. But its creator, Sam Altman, told the US Congress on Tuesday that while artificial intelligence could be beneficial to humanity, it should be regulated.
However, we think that regulatory intervention by governments will be critical to mitigate the risks of increasingly powerful models. For example, the US government might consider a combination of licensing and testing requirements for development and release of AI models above a threshold of capabilities.
Altman's testimony comes amid concerns by US policymakers that AI will have unexpected effects on society. Lawmakers cited risks such as job losses or the use of content creation tools to generate false information by foreign actors.
The World Meteorological Organization has warned global temperatures are likely to surge to record levels in the next 5 years, fueled by heat-trapping greenhouse gases and a naturally occurring El Niño event, where surface waters in the eastern Pacific Ocean become unusually warm. The WMO predicts a 66% chance that the annual global surface temperature will temporarily exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels sometime in the next 5 years, and forecasts a 98% chance of a record-breaking high temperature. It also estimates El Niño and climate change together will fuel global temperature increase, and Arctic heating is predicted to be more than 3 times higher than the global average. This report does not mean that we will permanently exceed the 1.5 degree level specified in the Paris Agreement. However, the WMO is sounding the alarm that we will breach the 1.5 degree level on a temporary basis with increasing frequency. Higher temperatures will have far-reaching repercussions for health, food security, water management and the environment. The update says we need to be prepared. It goes on to discuss how to strengthen weather and climate services to support climate change adaptation. And it aims to stimulate discussion on prioritising new initiatives to protect people from increasingly extreme weather.
High growth, debt reduction and increasing investments. Greece's economy has performed strongly in the past 2 years, outpacing most European countries. It is no longer the black sheep of Europe, but rather a success story of reform and recovery. And experts say that even better days lie ahead.
Υπάρχουν σημαντικοί λόγοι για τους οποίους η ελληνική οικονομία μπορεί να υπεραποδώσει έναν της Ευρωζώνης τα επόμενα χρόνια, τα επόμενα τουλάχιστον 3 με 5 χρόνια. Και οι λόγοι αυτοί είναι πολύ ουσιαστικοί, περιλαμβάνουν από το πολύ μεγάλο πακέτο επιδοτήσεων και δανείων του Ταμείου Ανθεκτικότητας και Ανάκαμψης, μέχρι την καλή φήμη της χώρας στο πεδίο του τουρισμού, που οικοδομήθηκε τα τελευταία χρόνια, και θα έλεγα και την άφθονη ρευστότητα του τραπεζικού συστήματος.
Numbers thrive in Greece, but as often is the case in economics, the situation on the ground is quite different.
Η ελληνική οικονομία καταγράφει τα τελευταία χρόνια ισχυρούς ρυθμούς ανάπτυξης, ωστόσο οι πραγματικές αποδοχές των εργαζόμενων, δηλαδή η ονομαστική μισθή μετά την αφαίρεση του πληθωρισμού, δεν ακολουθούν ανάλογη πορεία. Σε πολλές δε περιπτώσεις, λόγω των συνεχών ανατιμήσεων, έχουν καταγράψει πτώση. Η κατάσταση αυτή αποτυπώνεται στην αγορά εργασίας. Όλο και περισσότεροι εργοδότες δηλώνουν ότι δυσκολεύονται να βρουν προσωπικό, καθώς οι εργαζόμενοι κρίνουν ότι οι μισθοί που προσφέρονται δεν είναι αρκετά υψηλοί. Σε κρίσιμους τομείς για την ελληνική οικονομία, όπως είναι η εστίαση, ο τουρισμός και οι κατασκευές, έχουν δημιουργηθεί χιλιάδες κενές θέσεις εργασίας.
At the same time, Greek consumers are forced to cut their purchases of basic goods to deal with the wave of continuous price hikes.
Οπωσδήποτε ο περιορισμός υπάρχει. Να μην λέμε ψέματα. Μειωμένα πράγματα. Εκεί που έπαιρνα, ας πούμε, 4 κιλά φρούτα, θα πάρω 2 τώρα, θα πάρω 1. Αυτή είναι η διαφορά. Απλά μόνο για φαγητό, δεν έχουμε τίποτα άλλο, δεν αγοράζουμε.
Έχει μειωθεί κατά πολύ η κίνηση. Ο κόσμος δεν ξέρω γιατί, αλλά αδυνατεί ακόμα και τα βασικά προϊόντα να ψωνίσει από τη λαϊκή.
With elections coming up, Greek citizens say that inflation is their main concern and will influence their decision on which party to vote for.
Inter Milan reached their first Champions League final in more than a decade with a 1-0 victory against local rivals AC Milan. Inter had a 2-0 lead from the first leg of the semi-final, and Lautaro Martinez's 74th-minute goal ended any hopes for Milan of staging a comeback. The Nerazzurri won the so-called Euro derby 3-0 on aggregate to progress to their first final since it won the competition under Jose Mourinho. Euronews reporter Alessio Delana was at the San Siro for the big occasion.
Inter are back in the Champions League final and they do it in the sweetest possible way, knocking out arch rivals AC Milan.
Non ci poniamo limiti, adesso andiamo là a Istanbul a vincerla, noi ci crediamo. Milan non ci ha visto, Leao non ha giocato.
C'è delusione, ma alla fine i ragazzi hanno dato tutto, serviva un miracolo.
La partita giocata male dal Milan comunque, sia l'andata che il ritorno.
Non ci si arrende mai e questo poi è il risultato. The fans are absolutely overjoyed. There are fireworks in the Milan sky and parties already going on across the city. The fans absolutely cannot wait for the 10th of June, the final against either Real Madrid or Manchester City. We will see how it's going to go, but for now it's a night of joy, it's a night of ecstasy for Inter. They are in the final. Alessio Dell'Anna for Euronews in Milan.
The 76th Cannes Film Festival opened on Tuesday evening with French superstar Catherine Deneuve a guest of honour on posters and the red carpet. The southern French coastal city once again welcoming the best in the business from around the world. The honorary Palme d'Or this year has been awarded to American actor Michael Douglas. An award Swedish filmmaker Ruben Östlund says he'd pick any day over an Oscar. He is the 2023 president of the festival jury. On the red carpet, Osterlin was surrounded by other members. 9 actors and directors will choose from 21 films the winner of the Palme d'Or, the highest prize awarded at the festival. Jeanne du Barry was this year's opening film, traditionally presented out of competition. It features an astonishing cast with Johnny Depp as Louis XV, surrounded by French actors.
Ne pensez-vous pas qu'il serait temps de changer de vie?
Pour aller où?
Jean du Barry veut que je vous présente au roi.
La comtesse.
Directed by French actress and filmmaker May Wen, it tells the story of the king's favourite mistress who frees herself from the conventions of Versailles. It's Johnny Depp's first major on-screen role since his controversial defamation trial with ex-wife Amber Heard. Following the screening, the film received a 7-minute standing ovation.
Le plus grand festival du monde présente donc pendant 12 jours le meilleur du cinéma mondial venu des 5 continents. Des films de grands noms du cinéma comme Martin Scorsese, Wim Wenders ou Koreeda, mais aussi des nouveaux venus, notamment d'Europe et d'Afrique. Des films indépendants, d'auteurs, mais aussi des énormes blockbusters comme Indiana Jones, qui sera présenté ce jeudi sur la Croisette en présence d'Harrison Ford. Bref, une pluie de stars et de talents, la crème de la crème du cinéma d'aujourd'hui et de demain. Au Palais des Festivals de Cannes, Frédéric Ponsard pour Euronews.